What's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here, and welcome to a new album review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the debut studio album from a YouTuber who is also a musician. A man named James Hargreaves has officially released his very first debut record of complete originality. This is going to be my dedicating review to the man himself, and also with the other musicians who have worked as hard and as professionally with this album. The debut studio album entitled Onwards and Upwards. This is the very first time in James's career as a musician to release his own music through a complete studio record. This is also involving his record label called Hargreaves Records. James previously released two EPs, the Good to Be Back EP and the Flying Through the Noise EP. Both of them were fantastic in their own right, but Onwards and Upwards is absolutely a very big deal, not only for the fans of his YouTube channel and subscribers, but for him personally. This album has been put into a lot of time, writing, optimism and determination to share originality for anyone either in person or on the internet. Onwards and Upwards is definitely one of these albums with my journey being very positive, and it has been later on been a giant grower to cite it as one of my most favourite albums of the year so far. It's out on YouTube and as well as Spotify. I am one of these people who've decided to pre-order and purchase a signed copy of Onwards and Upwards. I do also recommend his YouTube channel, by the way, for those of you who are very unfamiliar with his content. It's very much inspired around the music scenes through the 90s to alternative and the Britpop movements. A ton of Oasis deep dive documentary style videos that have been amazing and as inspiring, but not only just Oasis. He has done a ton of other videos involving some occasional interviews with other bands to a few people in the music industry. He's done some videos for the Sex Pistols to the Beatles lately. If you like what I've been saying at this moment, go over to YouTube and subscribe to his YouTube channel. I will provide his channel link in the description below. Onwards and Upwards is one of those albums where the inspirations have been extremely high. James has been not only a big fan through Oasis, but his multiplying other tastes involve different bands like The Lars to Cast and Cream to the other adventurous choices of inspiration to make music in this way. The first track on the album, The People. Awesome introduction from the lead guitar work and acoustic playing that was really playful right from the start, and the hook was building itself to be superbly strong. It's lovely to hear the whole sound to be entirely warm throughout this rocking, jumping style of musicianship and instrumentation. The chorus was as wonderful to hear the harmonies vocally, and the beats were entirely rhythmic. It's fun and a very well energetic start to begin the album. It is, by the way, a plus to hear the sounds of the EBow being used, and as well as to the keyboards with their own separate tonalities to match along with the instrumentation. Designated Driver is the next song. Clean opening guitar chords to the melodic vocals. They were greatly sung and well performed, and later on you would hear the chorus being multi-tracked for James's performance. Amazing lead style once more, and the later chords to the song make this song flow naturally through this excellent and passionate hook that it does have. Awesome bass lines from Martin, controlled and excellent drum work from Adam. The whole thing around this track grows a lot of variation, and that's what I really like the most around this whole piece of music. It is one of my favourites for the early starting points to listen to this whole album. Girl on the Other Side of the Room. Out of all of the songs that I've listened to through this whole album, this track is my personal favourite, besides the last final track, which I will go to later on. Magnificent. That's the perfect word to describe it, because the melody was gorgeous. I love the continuing soul that it does contain for the vocals as you listen to the way James sings it. The acoustic guitars do make more of their own appearances, background effects through the guitars, and as well as with the vocal harmonies. One of the strongest songs that James did ever achieve to accomplish, in my opinion. The finale moments for Dave's keyboard playing was also sweet to hear more of the finalizing textures to rise more of the beautiful mix around this song. James did say that this was inspired by the La's. By the way, James's channel got me introduced to the La's, and as well as with Dodgy and The Real People. I absolutely adore this song. The Girl on the Other Side of the Room is the best one for me. The next track, Window Pane. Crisp, acoustic chords strumming, and the direction of the words, when I listen to it, it sounds personal. One of the best things around the identity that is this album, James decided lyrically to go into this secretive idea of making it like a biographical concept. I would love to hear in a video on his channel, if he wants to, that is, with the meaning behind each and every single song on this record, really combining the innocence and the highly vulnerable state into what the sound of the vocals were really about. Ever-growing theme that James did decide to work into for tracks like this one. Window Pane does really get better for more of the listens over time, and it does show a different side around the personality, not only into the vocals, but with the music as well. The next track, The Power. I love this awesome start because of the awesome drumming through Adam's skills, to later on be hearing the tightness following the guitars and the bass together. It's stellar. This is like a poppier style, in my opinion, and some of the lead playing later on into the track, verse sections wise, can be pretty bluesy too. The song itself can be very memorable, just like with Designated Driver to Girl on the Other Side of the Room. It's another one of my most favourite songs on this album. No Demands. Weirdly enough, the start of the song makes me think about immediately on a Stone Roses styly, the emotional side of the lyrics, which sweetly shows this artistic, heartfelt feeling about making music to show how you truly feel. And that's one of the other incredible things on this record's big consistency. I love the effects with the reverb surrounding the whole piece to resonate through the speakers. Paul's guitar work was also very, very good. Vicky's backing vocals did add a lot more of the texture into the growing piece that this one turns to be. To me, this is like a softer version of like a psychedelic piece of music. It's delicate, luscious, and dynamic. I Am the Sea. Every single time I think about the words of this title of the song, instant quadrophenia reference, I cannot help it. Banging, marching, and striking sound through percussion and the drums to pop right out through the speakers. It's precise from the start to the finish. One of the best vocals James did execute through his natural vocal techniques. It's an outstanding delivery through the power and the strengths, which also creates this big positivity vibe that surrounds itself into. The title track, Onwards and Upwards, quicker pacing through this instrumentation, which is remaining as glorious. The way I see the lyrics to this one, it's like it's full of determination and the way James sings it. This title track sounds as triumphant, and it grows super well as one of the other highlights because of the action to the overall sound of this piece. Paul's guitar solo later on was also just as awesome and effective. Love the title track very quickly because of its dramatic performances. On the Day You Came to Be, it's highly touching, beautifully moving. I think these lyrics are based from the moment with the birth of one of his sons. The piano to the acoustics could not have just been as phenomenal as this. James sings his heart out, and it really presents this wider, clearer, and an opening space to really focus on James's range. So expressive, a top-notch composition right from the beginning to the very end. The penultimate song, The Promise, is to me adding like a texture of instrumentation that is very different and separate than what most of this album is. The strings over time into the song, and it's a unique experiment. It's the most experimental part of this whole album. The constant repetition of the one-line set of lyrics gradually builds so much more around this gigantic wall of sound. Cleverly new, great way to make this type of arrangement. The last track, besides The Girl on the Other Side of the Room, this is one of my top most favourites. The final song, A Mentally Deranged Northern Bastard. This is a song lyrically based around one of his friends named Dave. It's hilarious from start to finish. The mood of the lyrics to the structure and the whole premise of this song made me laugh and smile. It's amazing to finish this record in like a vocal chanting type of style, atmosphere, so laid back, and you're just with a group of friends, you hear the background ambience, and singing all of these lyrics together. Nathan's squeaky grass did crack me up, and his bass work for this song is also as terrific as Martin's bass work. Everyone having a blast and making a jolly song is the best of both worlds. I really do appreciate hilarity into comedic fashion, and A Mentally Deranged Northern Bastard is phenomenal as well. I love this song very, very much. It starts the album with the people as an optimistic affair, and then finishes the album in the best ideas through banter. And that's all I would really say about that track alone. Love, love, love this song. And I'm sure that I will have my own pint glass with me when I listen to this track. Overall, Onwards and Upwards by James Hargreaves is a magnificent record. He should be very proud of himself for all of the hours of work to production and the professionalism, not only him but with the rest of the musicians that have worked as hard for this album. I love a lot of this record. Let me know what you guys think of this album in the comments down below if you are a subscriber to James Hargreaves. If you haven't subscribed or checked out his music or his YouTube channel, go and do that as soon as you can. And much love to James and Company for being a great, very gifted, talented bunch of musicians. His career as a musician could not have been just as amazing as this up to this point. I'm going to give Onwards and Upwards by James Hargreaves a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.